Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhu. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर डिवाइन गेशल अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर डिवाइन गेशल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंडगिरी गोवर्धन की। श्री वृंदावन धाम की। श्री श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम की। श्रीमती तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की। गंगा जमुना माई की। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की। श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर ललिता विशाखा जी की। श्री गौरनिताई की। श्रील प्रभुपाद की। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glory all to Guru Quran ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjansalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruh Shri Yutpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhanvitamsya. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Today we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, and the title is the Three Modes of Material Nature, and text today will be third. Please repeat after me. मम योनिर् महद् ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं दधाम्यहम् sambhavaḥ sarva-bhūtānāṁ tato bhavati bhārata mam yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbhaṁ dadhāmyaham sambhavaḥ sarva-bhūtānāṁ tato bhavati bhārata mam yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbhaṁ dadhāmyaham sambhavaḥ sarva-bhūtānāṁ tato bhavati bhārata. Nam yonir mahad brahma mama, my yoniḥ, source of birth, mahad, the total material existence, brahma, supreme, tasmin, in that, garbham, pregnancy, dadhāmy, create, aham, I, sambhavaḥ, the possibility, sarva-bhūtānāṁ, of all living entities, tataḥ, thereafter, bhavati, becomes, Bharata, O son of Bharata. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. The total material substance called Brahman is source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the birth of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Purport. This is an explanation of the word. Everything that takes place is due to the combination of kṣetra and kṣetra-jña, the body and the spirit soul. This combination of material nature and the living entity is made possible by Supreme God Himself. The mahat-tattva is the total cause of the total cosmic manifestation and that total substance of the material cause, in which there are three modes of nature, is sometimes called Brahman. The Supreme Personality impregnates that total substance, and thus innumerable universes become possible. This total material substance, the mahat-tattva, is described as the Brahman in the Vedic literature, Muṇḍaka Upaniṣad 1.1.19. Tasmat etat brahma nāma-rūpam annam ca jayate. The Supreme Person impregnates that Brahman with the seeds of living entity. The 24 elements, beginning from earth, water, fire, and air, are all material energy, and they constitute what is called mahad Brahman, or the great Brahman. The material nature, as explained in the 7th chapter, beyond this there is another superior nature, the living entity. Into material nature, the superior nature is the mixed with the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thereafter all living entities are born of this material nature. The scorpion lays its egg in the piles of rice, and sometimes it is said that the scorpion is born out of the rice. But the rice is not the cause of the scorpion. Actually, the eggs were laid by the mother. Similarly, material nature is not the cause of the birth of the living entity. The seed is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they only seem to come out as a product of material nature. Thus, every living entity, according to his past activities, has a different body created by this material nature, so that the entity can enjoy or suffer according to his past deeds. The Lord is the cause of all the manifestation of living entities in this material world. So here Krishna explains who is the source of the living entity. In material world, material science, very prominent theory that substance as material chemicals meet each other in a certain proportion, in a certain condition, and particular condition, and the living entity is produced. Simply, very simple way Srila Prabhupada talks about. They say that life comes from chemical substance. Different chemical in a certain proportion, they mix together, and then life is produced, a living entity is created. This is material. But here Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, describe the source of life. They are very in his very much. Life comes from life. जीवन का स्रोत जीवन है. So here Krishna says, mam yonir mahad brahma. This, Srila Prabhupada in this purport talks about 24 elements that comprise the material energy of Krishna. In 7th chapter, 7th, Krishna talks about his two different energy. Bhūmi-rāpo nalo vayu kham mano buddhire vacha ahankar itiyam me bhina prakriti ashtadha. Krishna described this is my separated material energy. They constitute Bhumi means earth, Bhumi, up, water, fire, air, and ether. Bhūmi-rāpo nalo vayu kham mano buddhiryocha ahankar itiyam me. Mind, intelligent, and ahankar, false ego. This all together 8 constitute Krishna's external separated energy. And then apareyam mitastonya prakritim vidhime param jiva-bhūtānāṁ mahabāhu yajet dhāryate jagat. Besides this inferior energy, apareyam, aparayam, this apara means inferior energy. There is superior energy, jiva-bhūtānāṁ mahabāhu yajet dhāryate jagat. Jiva, the living entity, is Krishna's superior energy, better energy. So, mam yonir mahad brahma, material existence, material manifestation, they have no power to produce anything. They are inert. When living entity comes in touch with jiva-bhūtānāṁ mahavajadeta dharyate jagat, all the movement, any action, activity is there in material existence, that is due to the living entity. Jiva is there. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks that it is a well-known fact, a scorpion, bichu, usually they lay eggs, mother scorpion, it lays the eggs in the piles of the grain, especially rice, unhusked rice. And a And from the egg, the scorpion, baby scorpions comes out, takes birth. So people in general with that don't know, they see that scorpion, baby scorpion directly it is coming out from the rice. So they think that rice is the source of birth of a scorpion. Similarly, the modern scientists, they argue that the chemical substance, matter, they mix together in certain proportion, in certain condition, in certain circumstances, particular, and living entity is produced. Jiva. Source of jiva is the material elements. But anywhere you can see the material element, substance, they have no power to produce anything, any activity even. Anything, action and activity taking place, this is due to the living entity. Like Srila Prabhupada talk of spirit and the matter. This is body, our body, external body, it is products of mahat-tattva. But any action or anything happening, this is due to the living entity. And living entity, the jiva is such a powerful elephant body, such a gigantic big body. And Atma, soul is very tiny, very small, and it has power to move. Mame yonir mahad-brahma, mahad-brahman. Mahad-brahman, the total unmanifested earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Besides, there are also 5 organs for perception and the 5 organs for the action, activity. Besides the 5 gross element and the object of the roop, rash, gandha and sparsh. So here Srila Prabhupada said 24 altogether. 5 action of activity, 5 organs of perception, and then 5 gross element, earth, water, and beside the mind, intelligence, and false ego. So, how these are 15 and 8, 23. And another is substance called the unmanifested, the total energy, earth, water, everything put in one. And it is not in manifested form, unmanifested form. It is there. So that is 24th one. And again, besides Sankhya, Sankhya of Kapil Muni, son of Devhuti, he talks about 2 other substances, one jiva and another super soul, soul and super soul, Paramatma. So these are the, but in general the people think that 24th element, of course the 24th element, material element, so altogether 24th together, 23 together, and when it remains in unmanifested form, like for example, then a very tiny seed of a banyan seed, banyan tree, smile tree, inside the seed, all existence of big gigantic tree is there, leaves are there, roots, everything is there. In seed, you can tear or break, you can't see the leaf, anything. It is unmanifested form there. All the whole big tree is there within the seed. it is unmanifested form. So simply mahat-tattva means total substance, total material energy in unmanifested form. Like tataḥ mama yonir mahad brahmam. Krishna says that the mahat-tattva, total energy in unmanifested form, is mahat-tattva, brahma, mama yonir mahad brahma. So that is the womb. Mahat-tattva is the womb. And Krishna says, tasmin garbhaṁ dadhāmy. I impregnate, I put seed in the mahat-tattva, and then sarva-bhūtānāṁ tato bhavati bhārata. And then due to that, all the living entities are manifested due to that. Body is created by material substance, mahat-tattva, but activity is due to the soul Atma. Mam yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhāmy sambhavaḥ sarva-bhūtānāṁ tato bhavati bhārata. Bharata, here Krishna addressing Arjuna. Arjuna took birth in Bharata dynasty. You know Bharata. In Vedic literature, Bharata, two Bharatas, very famous. Of course, three. One is brother of Lord Ramchandra also. Besides that, Bharata, Rajarshi Bharata, and one Bharata, who is the main ancestor of the this dynasty of Yudhishthira Maharaj, Parikshit, the husband of Sakuntala, Bharata. You know that Bharata, his name was Bharata. So since Arjuna appeared in the dynasty of Bharata, Bharata means husband of Sakuntala. No, sorry, son of Sakuntala. So Arjuna appeared in the dynasty of Bharata. That is the reason why Krishna here is addressing Arjuna, Bharata, son of Bharata, or descendants of Bharata. Sarva-bhūtānāṁ tato bhavati. All living entities, they possibly they come out due to that. Because Krishna impregnate, Krishna puts the seed of all living entity in the womb of mahat-tattva, total unmanifested energy of Krishna, material energy, separated energy, and then living entity comes out. So this is explanation that life comes from life. Source of life is the life. Sometimes the atheistic philosophy, they don't accept this fact there, and somehow or other they are very much convinced. And they give one example of the pan. In a pan, betel nut, betel leaf. So many ingredients are there. Redness is not put there. Some tuna, lime is there, this and there, they put together. And when it is crushed, then reddish color comes out, becomes red. So similarly, they say that all the chemicals, they mix together in certain proportion, in certain condition, and then from within, the life is produced. Life is the production of chemical. But all the Vedic literature, not only Vedic literature, all mostly people understand, and they're very logic also produced in all the religious books or philosophical books anywhere in the world. Krishna is the seed-giving father. Sarva-jonishu kauntaya murtaya sambhavantiya tasam brahma mahad yonir aham BG-14.3. Krishna is the seed-giving father of all living entity. Living entity, when bhutva, the creation manifested creation, it is not permanent. Bhutva parlete. It is created, manifested, and in due course of time it is annihilated also. And everything annihilated, complete annihilation take place. So everything merge into the subtle form. And the subtlest form, the most subtle form of the total material separated energy of Krishna is mahat-tattva. It is aggregate, all energy, everything, whatever manifested universe is a different type. Everything is there in one, in unmanifested form. And when next creation is about to take place, and the Krishna glance on the material existence, mahat-tattva, and due to that due to the different type of modes of material, sattva, rajas, tamas, they also become, and then the mahat-tattva started to manifest in different form. From mahat-tattva comes false ego, from false ego intelligence, from intelligence minds come, and from minds ahankar, this comes the earth, water, everything existed. So this is the explanation, Prabhupada talks about explanation of the material manifested creation. Krishna energy, two energy, different energy. Bhumi rapo nalo vayu kham mano buddhireva cha ahankara itiyam me bhinna prakriti rashtada. So this 8 separated material energy of Krishna. And then Krishna next verse, apareyam mitastanya prakritim vidhi me param. Krishna says all this is inferior energy. Besides that, beyond that there is superior energy, and that is superior energy living entity. Living entity has similar quality, not in quantity wise, but quality as good as Krishna himself. Means Krishna is Satchidanand, Satchit Anand. So living entity also, since the part and parcel of Krishna, servant of Krishna, so living entity also inherits all quality of Krishna in minute quantity. Quantity wise it is very tiny, but as a quality it inherits every single guna of Krishna is there in living entity in a very tiny, minute form. So here, of course, the 14th chapter basically describes, further on Krishna talks about 3 modes of material nature. So before describing modes of material nature, Krishna described the source of living entity, from where we have come, living entity. Living entity, it is Krishna. So tasmin garbhaṁ dadhāmy. Next verse also, sarva-bhūtānāṁ kaunteya mūrtayah sambhavanti ya tāsam brahma mahad yonir aham BG-14.3. Krishna is the seed-giving father of all living entity. And therefore, since we are part and parcel of Krishna, we are servant of Krishna, therefore we are duty bound. It is our natural duty to serve the whole. We are part and parcel of Krishna. For example, see, the whole, if I am body, the hand is the part of this body. Hand, the duty of hand is to serve the body. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता है कि आप सोए हैं और हाथ आपका गला चीप कर मार दे, ऐसा नहीं होता है ना। सर्विस even you are unconscious, a sleeping condition, still that our hand, our all limbs, we are very cooperative, they try to protect. ऐसा नहीं होता कि सो गए हैं तो हाथ क्रोधित आप हो गया, आपका गला चिप गया, मर गया, ऐसा कभी नहीं करता है. So similarly, since we are part and parcel of Krishna, Krishna is whole, we are tiny part, we are duty bound. Our duty is to serve Krishna, and this is our natural constitutional position. जीवे चैतन्य महाप्रभु जीवे स्वरूप है कृष्ण नित्य दास. The constitutional position, original position of a living entity, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described that we are servant of Krishna. Jive Swarup. Swarup. Our constitutional position, our original position, our original nature is to serve the Lord. Like any liquid, especially water, 6 is level. Put anywhere water, it goes down. So similarly, any position we are put in the material world, but our natural tendency to serve Krishna is never disturbed. It is there. Simply it is in a dormant condition. Dormant condition means sleeping condition. Nitya siddha Krishna prema sadhe ko bhunoye sarva-adi shuddha chite karayo. The serving attitude, pure attraction for Krishna, pure bhakti is there in our heart, in living attitude, full of devotional service, all sentiment, good sentiments we have for Krishna. It is there, all emotional, good emotional feeling is there. But it is in the dormant condition, it is sleeping condition, we simply require to awaken, revive that consciousness. We have nothing to hire from any other or import anything. Jiva nitya siddha Krishna prem. Krishna prem is nitya siddha. Sadhya kabun. Sadhya means not that we have to get it from other places or import from other places. It is there. But Sravana-adi Shuddha Chite Karayuda. When we hear about pastime of Krishna, glories of Krishna, name of Krishna, we chant this glory, we chant the name of Krishna, our heart becomes purified. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhi Kabhunoy. Sravana-adi. Sravana is in beginning. There are different. Rupa Goswami talks about 64 limbs of devotional service. Prahlad Maharaj talks about 9 processes of devotional service. So Sravana-adi. Sravana is beginning. Adi. Sravana-adi means beginning is Sravana. Sravana-adi, Sravana Kirtan happens that our heart becomes completely purified from all contamination, and as soon as a heart is purified, then Sravana-adi Shuddha Chite Karaya Udayat. It will arise, it will manifest, Shuddha Krishna Prem will be manifested. So here, very clearly Krishna says, Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbhaṁ dadhāmy aham. We are part and parcel of Krishna, we are sons of Krishna. So we are equally, every single living entity, it has potential to become pure devotee. We have potential. Like a seed, it has potential to create a big tree, very small seed, especially banyan tree seed, very small or but it has potential to create big. So similar way we have, since we are energy of Krishna, superior energy of Krishna, very sublime energy of Krishna, once we revive, we realize this fact and we engage our senses in service of Krishna, our hearts become purified, and in purified heart, Krishna Prem, spontaneous attraction for Krishna, a rag will be manifested. So here, Srila Prabhupada in Purport also talks about, you must hear this part, especially talks about philosophical part, who is the source of a living entity, our source. Krishna is the source. Tasmin garbhaṁ dadhāmy. Next verse. BG-14.3 तासाम ब्रह्म महद yoni aham BG-14. I am seed giving father of every single living entity. So we should try to revive that. In particular, this verse talk basically that life comes from life, not from matter. Any material exists in matter, inert, it has no power to produce anything or act anything, move anything, unless it is supported by, sanctioned by, done by the superior energy of living entity. Any action we are seeing, this is due to the presence of the soul, Atma. This is our big body moving here and there. As soon as the Atma, living entity, decides to leave the body, goes out, immediately this becomes useless, the body. So, but since that is also the external energy, separated energy of Krishna, the mahat-tattva, that is the energy of Krishna. So Krishna has transformed himself in the material existence. So this verse particularly talks about how we are the source of a living entity. Our source of life is life. The material theory that life arises from the chemical, but Vedic literature or all atheistic theory, science describe that the source of life, the Jiva, is the product of the living. Jiva is the product of Krishna, the superior energy, Krishna. Okay, here I stop. If you have any question or comment, please go through. In one place, Prabhupada talked about, Prabhupada talking about the cosmic manifestation has no power to act unless it is moved by the superior energy, the living entity. This fact, any action or any movement we see in this material world, this is due to the presence of the living entity, superior energy of Krishna.
What is the role of Lord Krishna and Durga Devi in creation?
Krishna is the
Lord Shiva and Durga Devi. What is the
living entities, we have said, there are two separate energies. One bhumi rapo nalo vai. Another apariyamitastonya prakritim vidhime param jiva bhuta. So all other, either Shiva, Brahma, Parvati, Durga, they are the living entity, superior energy of Krishna. So sometimes Krishna directly they interest someone to do something. So in order to maintain this material world, Krishna has deputed, authorized Durga Devi as Parvati. She is in charge. But it maintains, she is also living entity, very important living entity, servant of Krishna, always. So she does some management material in material sky, material world. So role of Parvati or Shiva, so obey the orders of Krishna, and they are very faithful towards Krishna, and what Krishna says, they are acting. Like your Christian Mashtami is coming, in sarva-bhūtānāṁ there is statement that Brahma was in the womb of Rohini, you know. So one point, Krishna called Durga Devi. Please, Durga Devi, you have to do one thing for me. My elder brother, Balaram, is now in the womb of Rohini. Womb of Devaki. So Durga Devi, Parvati ji, you use your all expert and take Balaram from the womb of Devaki and place in the womb of Rohini. This story is in the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavad. So, and Durga Devi did it very nicely. She used such her expert that even Devaki did not get any trouble, no pain. Though Balaram was in the womb of Devaki, Durga Devi as Parvati or Jogmaya, she took from there and put in the womb of Rohini. And Krishna is, my dear Durga Devi, if you do that one, it is my, use your all expertise for that. And in return, I will bless you that people will worship, they create big temple for you on earthly planet. And sometimes they worship faithfully more than me. And since Durga Devi has done this service, and Krishna awarded her, so she is also worshipped, but she maintains her own position. She is not confused. Durga Devi is not confused. Maybe we are confused. We are saying that Durga Devi is acting according to the will of Krishna. And similarly, Shivaji also. Shivaji is, in one sense, Kshiram jatha dadhi vishesha vikara yoga sanjayate nahi prakastu hetu. Krishna, Shiva is considered as Krishna as milk, and Shiva yogurt, dahi. So Shiva is nothing, yogurt is nothing, milk is transferred in the yogurt, dahi. So similarly, in order to control tamogun, mode of ignorance, Krishna has created Lord Shiva, and Shiva is controlling the tamogun. Tamogun means mode of ignorance. So Parvati also, or Durga, whatsoever say, they are servants. They are very faithful servants of Krishna. And their role is to act, obey the will of Krishna. And they are faithfully they are doing. From their side, no negligence at all.
And this Shivling is also worshipped. Shivling.
when Krishna appeared in this material birth, he displayed the role of a human being, like he acts like human being. So generally a human being worshipped, so that is reason why. Even though Mahabharata very important, you know, Utang, Rishi Utang, you have heard the name of Utang Rishi. Towards the end of Mahabharata, Mahabharata took place in Kurukshetra. Krishna stayed for time being for many months in Hastinapur, many months, and towards the end Krishna was going to Dwarka. So on the way, there was a very nice devotee of Krishna, Utang Rishi. So he was in trance, in meditation for many years. He was not knowing anything about what happened in Mahabharata. So when he heard that Krishna is passing through, immediately he came out from the cave to greet Krishna. And then Krishna, then Utang Rishi asking samachar what, he told that some disagreement was going between Kaurava and Pandava. What happened? Some disagreement, some quarrel was going on. The Krishna described that what happened. They are annihilated, Mahabharata Yuddha took place. And the Utang Rishi became very much upset with Krishna. You are the Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of God. You use your intelligence, you could have stopped the war. This whole destruction take place in presence of you. You are Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I will curse you. You, but कृष्ण तुम्हारे पावर में था युद्ध रोक सकते थे, आप भगवान हैं. How come that all the warriors are destroyed, killed? Such a big, I will curse you. Then Krishna said, Utang Rishi, don't be upset, don't go crazy. I am Supreme Personality of God. I could not force anyone to act against their will. Besides, I descended here, I am playing a role of human being, not I am playing a role of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I tried my level best to stop as a human being. I was acting as a human being. So I did. So don't go crazy. A Brahmana's power. Actually, a Brahman, by cursing you, you will lose your potential of austerity. And you want to curse me, useless. I am already cursed by Gandhari. She has cursed. So here Krishna said, Krishna comes here, descends here, he is playing the role of a human being also. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was Supreme Personality of God, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Supreme Personality of Godhead, same time he was acting a role of a pure devotee. How a pure devotee should behave. So similarly, when Krishna appeared, when he displayed the role of a human being, so certainly human being had tendency to worship different demigods. So Krishna also, like when Lord Ram has to cross the ocean, before crossing he established Shiva Lingam and worshipped Rameswaram. Shiva name, whose Ishwar is Ram. Rameswar means Shiva, whose Ishwar is Ram, who had accepted Ram as Ishwar. He is called Rameswaram, Shiva. So for that reason, sometime, it's many times also, Krishna worshipping different type of demigods, as playing a role of human being, but as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ekala Ishvara Krishna are sarva-bhūtānāṁ. only master, supreme master is Krishna. Beside Krishna, anywhere it says Ekala, Ishvara, Krishna are sab, everyone. Shiva, Brahma, they are Bhrit means servant. Many Vaikuntha also this many stories in Chaitanya Charitamrita describe the once Brahma visited Dwarka. So on the gate, the gatekeeper informed Krishna that Brahma has come. Then Krishna told the doorkeeper, go and ask which Brahma, which Brahma. So doorkeepers come back and ask, Krishna is asking, who Brahma? There are many Brahma. Who Brahma? Which Brahma is coming? Brahma becomes, sir, he was thinking that I am only Brahma is the creation. What is this question? Which Brahma is coming? So you do know the story when the Brahma, then millions of Brahma were created there. They are touching the feet. So Ekala Isvara Krishna, only Supreme Master is Krishna, are sarva-bhūtānāṁ. Every single living entity beside they are their servant.
हरे कृष्ण महाराज जी। महाराज जी मुझे एक प्रश्न पूछना है कि महत-तत्व जो होता है वो उसके अंदर 24 एलिमेंट्स जितने भी सारे 24 एलिमेंट्स जो होते हैं वो सारे होते हैं उसमें
24 गिन लीजिए। पंच महाभूत अर्थवाट और माइंड, इंटेलिजेंट एंड फॉल्स ईगो 8 हो गए ना। और 5 कर्मेंद्रिय है, 5 ज्ञानेंद्रिय, कितना हो गया? 10, 8, 18। और इसके बाद सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट, रूप, रस, गंध, स्पर्श और शब्द, ये कितना हुआ? 23। और एक अनमैनिफेस्टेड टोटल एनर्जी काल महद ब्रह्म, महत, altogether 24. All these are the material. In superior, spiritual jiva and another super soul, Paramatma, the 26. But material, they are 24. समझ में आ गया ना? 5 कर्मेंद्रिय, 5 ज्ञानेंद्रिय, 5 सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट, रूप, रस, गंध, स्पर्श, 5 महातत्व ये है। और वो
मन बुद्धि
24 हो गया ना।
और एक चीज़ और प्रभु, मैंने उसमें पढ़ा था सांख्य योग में कि एक बैलेंस उसमें रहता है, जो 3 मोड्स होते हैं वो एक बैलेंस स्थिति में होते हैं, देन भगवान उस पर दृष्टि डालते हैं, देन उसमें कुछ चेंजेस आते हैं।
देखिए वो गुण होते हैं ना, ये प्रकृति के जो 3 गुण हैं तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट नहीं है, उसके गुण हैं। जैसे फ्लावर होता है तो उसमें फ्लावर में जो फ्रेग्रेंस है वह फ्लावर का कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट नहीं है, वह उसका गुण है। समझ? तो वैसे जो मोड्स मटेरियल सत्व, रजोगुण, तमोगुण है, ये कोई सब्सटेंस है, उसको हम कैसे कहें, कैसे उसको कहेंगे? वो जो ये 3 गुण है वो गुण वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट नहीं है। कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट समझ जिसे वो उसमें है नहीं, उसमें क्या हम कहें, जैसे पान आप लोग खाते होंगे, आप लोग पान नहीं खाते हैं क्या क्या चीज़ डाला जाता है ना, डाला जाता है, वो लाल हो जाता है। तो लाल उसमें कोई चीज़ डाला नहीं गया है, माने लालिमा नहीं डाला गया है। लाल भले कोई डालते हैं लोग, लालिमा नहीं, वो लालिमा है, पान का कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट नहीं है। चूना है, पत्ता है, और क्या डालते हैं, सुपारी है, सौंफ डाल देते हैं, इलायची डाल देते हैं, वो तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट है। लेकिन जो लाली उसमें आ गया है वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट। तो वैसे ही प्रकृति वो 24 ही है, उसमें जो 3 है उसका अब पता नहीं हम कैसे कहते, गुण है उसका, क्वालिटी है। जैसे हम लोग बने, हमारा शरीर पंचभूत है तो कुछ में दया होता है। तो दया क्या है कि वो कोई चीज़ नहीं है उसमें। चाहे कोई सुंदर होता है तो सौंदर्य वो शरीर का गुण है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट नहीं है। ऐसा नहीं कि 1 किलो सौंदर्य उसमें डाल दिए हैं, किसी में ज़्यादा डाल दिए तो ज़्यादा सुंदर हो गया, किसी में कम। तो 3 गुण, अब पता नहीं कैसे अंग्रेजी में कहा जाता है, ये तीनों गुण प्रकृति के कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट नहीं है, ये उसके क्वालिटी है, उसका गुण है। इसीलिए गुण ही कहा जाता है, त्रिगुण। मोड्स, मोड्स उसे कहते हैं। ठीक है, तो थोड़ा सा कठिन पड़ता है हम लोगों को समझने, क्या इनकॉन्सेप्ट कुछ है, ऐसे कहने को तो कह देते हैं, लेकिन समझ में नहीं आता है कि एक भक्त थे, उनसे पूछा एक व्यक्ति, भगवान झुक करके, टेढ़े होकर क्यों खा होते हैं, क्यों टेढ़े हो जाते हैं? टेढ़ा आदमी क्यों, कोई भार होता है तो कृष्ण पर इतना सौंदर्य का, ब्यूटी का इतना बोझ है कि ब्यूटी से दब कर टेढ़े हो जाते हैं। तो बहुत कृष्ण का आंसर है, बहुत बढ़िया आंसर है। कृष्ण टेढ़े कैसे क्यों हो जाते हैं? इतना उस पर सौंदर्य का, ब्यूटी का भार है कि उसे झुक जाना पड़ता है, वो ब्यूटी का संभाल नहीं पाते। ऐसा कोई कृष्ण का आंसर सूत्र है, बढ़िया ऐसा समझना चाहिए, लेकिन अब इसको उसी रूप में नहीं ले जाना चाहिए।